computing the EFC for the student, or the expected family contribution, what the government can, what the government thinks the family can contribute to the educational needs of the student. So again, we'll be using the 2019 tax information. You're going to select your filing status on this screen. If you already completed or will be completing, not going to file, and then we do encourage you to use the link to IRS function, the IRS data retrieval tool. Also, when you're selecting your filing status for married, single, head of household, ensure that this selection does correlate to what's on your tax returns. Because again, as we're doing our due diligence, and if this selection for your filing status differs from what's on your taxes, the financial aid office will ask for you to have your taxes amended so that the aid can be processed correctly. Again, the IRS data retrieval tool, we do encourage you to use that because of two reasons. One, the IRS data retrieval tool will pull the data information from your 2019 taxes directly to your FAFSA. So at this point, you wouldn't have to use the physical documents of your 1040 or whichever tax form you use. The IRS information that's requested from the FAFSA will be pulled directly from the IRS. Again, participation is voluntary, but we do highly encourage it. And the two things that it does do, it one, reduces the number of documents requested by financial aid offices if you are indeed selected for verification. And then if you are selected for verification, it does speed up the processing of your financial aid. So the process of verification is a random selection that happens. The federal government randomly selects a sample of students at every federal government supported institution and ensures that the FAFSA has been entered and submitted correctly. So during that process, you may be asked to supply other documentations or the hard copies of your actual tax documents. But if you use the IRS data retrieval tool, we wouldn't have to request those additional documents because the information comes directly from the IRS. And so that's why we definitely highly encourage it, because of the speed of time of the processing and the reduction of documents that are requested. Due to increased security measures, transfer data will not show on the screen, but it will be indicated by a check mark next to those particular data points that's being asked for. And then the financial aid office will make any changes to your FAFSA if you do use the IRS data retrieval tool. So once you've entered all the tax information on the FAFSA, you'll come to the FAFSA summary screen. Again, as indicated, following the tab at the top, it shows you the flow of where you are on the FAFSA document. So now we're on the summary. Here on the summary screen, this is where you're going to be able to ensure all the information entered is correct, or you can make changes to that information here on the summary screen. So again, review your answers, make changes on this page before submitting your FAFSA. And then sign and submit. So after you've logged in, you can electronically sign your FAFSA with your FSA ID, or if you don't have the FSA ID, if your parents are unable to create an FSA ID because they are not a citizen of the U.S. at this point, this parent can also print the FAFSA signature page and mail it off to the U.S. Department of Education. So you submitted your FAFSA, you get your congratulations confirmation page where you can, again, print the confirmation page for your records. It does give an indication of what your estimated family contribution will be, and it does give an indication of what the aid, your estimated aid from the federal government will be in terms of a Pell Grant and any loan offers that may be offered to you by the Office of Financial Aid. And then what's next? So after you submit the financial, your FAFSA, it will be reviewed and processed by the federal government, which can take up to a week for processing. You'll receive an email from FAFSA letting you know that when it has been completely processed, and then that information will be sent to the schools that you have listed on your FAFSA. The schools at this point will be able to review your FAFSA, determine what your eligibility is, and/or let you know that you've been selected for verification. And so at this time, for instance, at Southern University, our lines of communications will open from the financial aid office to the student. letting them know again if they've been selected for verification via their banner, their student email accounts as well. So once we've contacted you, it's highly important that you start submitting the information being requested as soon as possible, so the processing of your financial aid is done in a timely fashion and you're ready to start school in the fall of 2021. Were there any questions that appeared? No questions? Okay, that's my presentation. Again, thanks so much for joining me, and I look forward to joining you again. Ms. Ware?
Thanks so much, Mr. Levy. Don't move, don't move, don't move. How do we say thank you to someone who, at the spur of the moment, said yes to our needs? Just a small token from the family of Tara High School for your cooperation and your genuineness to our endeavor.
I appreciate
Thank
you
you so very much. Parents, you're not alone. You're never alone at Tara High School. We are here. Our counseling department is here, and at this moment, Ms. Dillon is here. Ms. Dillon is here to bring you some updates and to let you know anything that you think you did not fully understand, you just phone call and email away. 1 minute, please. Ms. Dillon.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ms. Dillon, one of the counselors from the counseling department. And I know that you guys heard some very valuable information regarding financial aid. One thing that I do want to remind you about is that, of course, this information will be posted in the Google Classroom for all grade levels. So if you need to go back and refer to anything, it'll be so easy for you to go back and look at it. It's actually tabbed for you. So if you want to go back and sit with your parent or guardian to go over that information, it's available for you. Another thing that I want to remind you guys about, especially my seniors, we are currently on 4x4 scheduling. With 4x4 scheduling, let me kind of explain it to you just to make sure that you understand. We just completed first semester. So that means that in November, you guys actually started part 2 of those classes that you were enrolled in August. So that means that come December, you're going to receive a full credit, of course, if you did pass that course. So come January, we're actually going to have a totally new, different schedule. That means that you're going to have new classes. So what I would suggest is that if you have any questions about 4x4, if it's something that you're not sure about, parents, students, make sure that you reach out to your student's counselor so that they can give you valuable information referring to that. Another thing that I want to remind you about is that progress reports actually went home on yesterday. And of course, parents, you can log into Student Access and you can get some information on progress reports. Make sure that you call the counselors. If you have any questions about that, make sure you contact teachers if you need a parent-teacher conference, of course, over the phone. So I also want to remind you that in December, that report cards will be going home. So everything is going by really fast. Seniors, I know it's really fast for you, but you can do it. So make sure that you reach out to us if you have any additional questions. Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Levy. Thank you to Ms. Dillon. Thank you to Ms. Ware. Thank you to Ms. Hollins, who is behind the cameras filming. Parents, I told you we have some giveaways. So all of those people that you see listed here as sponsors today, those giveaways are here. So here's how you will get one of those sponsored awards or sponsored certificates. When we finish posting this video, we will send out a link. Click the link. Give us your information. Just completely simply filling out that form will get you access to potentially winning one of the certificates from our sponsors today. So I want to thank Krispy Kreme, La Cantina, Southern University, Mr. Brian Wright, Brightway Insurance, Cutie Cakes. I want to thank you for doing all of these things to assist us with getting this information out to parents. If there's anyone that I've forgotten in my thank yous, charge it to my head, not my heart. So parents, this is phase 2. We will have a phase 3. Thank y'all for listening in.
We done.
Yes.
I know one thing, Persia.
What you got to do?